how that goes. And meanwhile, hopefully I'll get the new computer in a couple of weeks. I think I can afford the basics in a couple of weeks, just enough to get my casting going at the same graphics I'm doing now, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, doing some good stuff, and yeah, we will see how that goes. And meanwhile, we'll keep on casting this game. Now, Happy getting his expansion up nice and quickly. Not super quick, but that's pretty quick. So yeah, he should be fine. He's getting the second orbital up, so yeah, he should be fine. Just getting barracks out at the moment. No factories on the way, so it looks like it's going to be a repeat of game number 1, where he just got out a ton of Marines very, very early, and then slowly switched into Triple M just off that large group of Marines. And I mean, they're good. They're definitely going to be able to look after his expansion very early in the game. So I really do like this build that he's going for. And yeah, well, once he gets the expansion coming down, he can start teching into Triple M. He can start getting Vikings. He can even start getting Ghosts. I forgot to mention it last game, but there was actually a nuke that came out at some point. Happy decided to build a nuke. I don't think he nuked anything though. I don't think it actually went down. He may have faked a nuke at some point, but I don't think he actually landed a nuke. He probably just forgot about it in the heat of the battle. So yeah, I mean, if Alicia goes for High Templar again, we'll definitely be seeing some Ghosts again, or maybe we'll see some Ghosts anyway. And yeah, then maybe we will see a nuke, but oh, it's all up in the air at the moment. Bunch of Marines. They want to hit the Stalker, but the Stalker's just too fast. Oh, Stalker almost hitting that Marine, but the Stalker is on the edge of death itself. So if he just runs in again and leaves that Marine behind, I think he actually put that Marine in the bunker. So yeah, look at this. All of the Marines that require a rest are stuck in the bunker, which is probably a good place to put them. Here we go. Factory coming down. We can probably expect a starport soon after that. And I'm guessing, yeah, he's going to start going into his general Triple M sort of stuff. Not really the double NG bay, but I suppose he gets that in a couple of minutes. And just getting some rocks, getting down for number 3. But of course, this observer is going to see that there's no number 3 yet, which is no more than he expects. And supply capped. Oh my god, Alicia, how could you? Yes. we have to make fun. When it's at this level of the tournament, when everybody's a master level player or a grandmaster level player, we have to make fun of them for being supply capped. We just have to, because God knows there's little enough else to make fun of them about, because everything else they do is flawless. They always do flawless plays, they always do beautiful stuff, so when they get supply capped, man, you just have to dig into them. And I'm sure he was probably banging his head on the keyboard right then, because it's a big mistake for him, whereas a little mistake for the rest of us. And by the rest of us, I am talking about silver players, bronze players, maybe the odd gold player or two. Gold players, I know you think you're above us silver and bronze players, but you're really not. You're really not. You're still at the lower end of the spectrum. Third base coming down for Happy. He's actually building it on there. He's got these rocks covered down. That should be fine. But if Alicia starts getting some warp prisms down, starts doing some warp prism drops with the zealots, then this base could get hit quite hard. No doubt at some point he'll put a missile turret up there, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get one straight away. No missile turrets here yet. In the main base there is one, so he's definitely been quite productive as far as the missile turrets are. Yeah, but right now the observer's getting a whole ton of scouting off. Hallucinated Phoenix Man, what a legend! Hallucinated Phoenix Man coming out at just the right time, and the drop ships are like, oh shit, we've been spotted, and they're going to get the hell out of there. It's actually going to drop down and see the Hallucinated Phoenix and take it out, but yeah, that attack is not going to work anymore. And Alicia is definitely knows what's going on, and we can expect him to hit these rocks. But right now, just getting the observer out there. What was he? He was scanning over there. Should have scanned over there, got the observer. Look at this great shield. The unit's trying to get around the side of it, but they decide they don't have enough attacking area there. It's actually a great force field. You might think, well, I just block off the whole thing, but if you block most of it off and leave a tiny gap, the units can still go through it, but they'll all funnel in. And when she gets units funneling in versus a Protoss player, it's just an absolute slaughter fest. 2 ships over there, another one there, and looks like they may be trying to do double-sided drops with maybe another dropship here, but there's an observer in the middle, and the observer's like, yeah, I know what's going on. So there we go. He's got a cannon up here. He is not prepared for this, though. If the drop comes down there, he's not really prepared. Look at these guys just teasing this army to make sure it stays there. Meanwhile, the drop coming in here. The cannon goes down in 2 seconds flat, and Alicia is not prepared. Although, the mothership Nexus, the Nexus, going to take out one of the dropships. And as long as he takes out the dropships, these guys are just going to be cheddar for the rest of the army. Although the rest of the army cannot retreat here. These guys constantly moving in. They can't retreat because otherwise they'll lose the third. But meanwhile, the second it goes down. And, whopping in some Zealots, but just not quick enough, man. And Happy, such a good attack, man. Just such a good attack. And really, there wasn't too much that Alicia could have done about that. He was warping in units as fast as he can here. He could have split off some of these forces, maybe set the Immortal back or something, but just too much. And here we go. Now we can move back because the main force that was teasing him out here is just completely gone. He's overloading the mothership. Sorry, the Nexus. Nexus taken out, but if this thing goes down again and he's choosing to attack, this could be a massive, massive mistake. The Nexus goes down. There was still quite a lot of minerals here. And Alicia, man, I thought he was doing okay, but just simply incapable of dealing with those drops. Happy hit him from 2 different points, and he could not defend both points. He just couldn't. He didn't split up his forces here. He kept him in one group, didn't send any to try and hold him off. Even a small amount might have forced him back into the dropship, but he didn't. And yeah, he's trying to do something here, but I feel like this just isn't going to work. He hasn't got as many forces as he needs. He just didn't have the forces. He didn't have the forces to do a split back there, and he doesn't really have the forces to, I think, take this out. Look at this. They've got a beautiful marine composition. Behind that is simulators, so nice and protected. And they're just going to run in. The Immortal not going to be able to do too much. The Storm's coming out, and Storms might help him, but I don't think Storms are going to save him this game. Look at this, man. SCV is attacking Zealots. You know that's always crazy, but I would bet on the SCVs at this point because, man, they're just so awesome. And the Immortal definitely cleaning up here. 12 kills on that Immortal. Doing a great job sniping Marauders, but it finally gets taken out. And the Archon on the edge of death, and then we've got just 3 Stalkers, and that is not going to be anything. The Stalkers are like, can we get a pickup here? But unfortunately the Medivacs are not going to be picking up Stalkers anytime soon. And a pretty strong attack there, but Happy had what he needed to fend it off. And meanwhile, Alicia mining off one base, just the drops, the timing here was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful by Happy. Now, what he could have done is he could have landed the forces in the back of the mineral line, and he could have landed these forces in the back of the mineral line. Going for 2 bases at once, maximize your worker kills, and that might have worked. And what would have happened is this force would have get wiped out pretty quickly by these units, and then he would have shooted his units over there, knocked out these guys. Probably wouldn't have lost too many workers because they ran away, but he would have saved the Nexus, I feel like. What Happy did though, which in my opinion is just pure genius, was he had his units out here. He moved in, and then he got scared and he moved back. And he moved in, and then he got scared and he moved back. He never fully engaged. He tickled these guys a little bit, but as soon as he felt like he could actually take a beating, he moved out. And what that did was, Alicia was completely unable to move most of his forces away over to this base. They were basically being held there by this attacking force. He knew if he moved there, this large army would come in here, take out the Nexus, completely undefended, and he would lose that Nexus. So he couldn't move his forces away, and meanwhile there was nothing left to defend this base. And this base was just open for so long. Nexus overcharge did alright, but it wasn't enough. I mean, it wasn't enough to save the Nexus, and he could have split up. He could have split up his forces, but the problem is he just didn't have that many forces. I mean, he didn't have the 2 Terran armies together, the one over here and the one over there, together, one-on-one, they would have beaten this Protoss horse. He had the Templars, and I suppose what he really should have done is shifted half of this force away, or maybe a third of this force away, pushed them off the Nexus, and defended here, and it would have been a very hard defense at both locations. It would have been right down to the wire, but I feel like that was his only choice in that particular place. He couldn't really afford to lose either of the Nexi at that point. He just couldn't. And I mean, this Nexus being taken out by that drop after the end was just icing on the cake for Happy. But the main thing was when this one went down, because this was a serious mining base. And just so harsh, man, so harsh. So there we go, Happy pushing back in a very decisive way in game number 2. And yeah, we're going to be moving on with 1-1 apiece. Not going into the ace match because this is a best of 5, so we've still got at least 2 games to go in this series. And oh man, they're going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys in game number 3. This has been Hairy Muppet.